Okay, here I'm back with what we were working on. So now they ask us to find the fraction of the number. Find the fraction of the number. So we have to find this fraction of this number. Then they want us to write the division you used in the box. So how did I figure that out? Okay, so it would be just like I did up there. So I know I have to have 12. So I have 12, and I have to divide it into 4, because this is my number down there. So 12 divided by 4 means each group would have 3. Here I have 15. So that's going to be my first number. I'm going to divide it into groups of 5, and so my number would be 15 divided by 3 would mean each group has 3 in it. So I want you to pause and see if you can figure out the last 4 of these questions on your own, and then I'll come back and we'll see if you got them right. Pause. Okay, I'm back. So yeah, I hope that you put that there's 12 altogether. You divided them into 2 groups, and that 12 divided by 2 is there will be 6 in each group. So if you get one group, you'll be getting 6. Okay, I hope here you put 18. There are 18 objects. We're going to divide them into 3 groups. 18 divided by 3 is 6. So if I get one of those groups, I'm getting 6. Here you needed to put 22 divided by 2. And I know that is 11. So if I get one of those groups, I'm going to get 11. Here my big group. Ooh, I got a big number. 45 divided by into 5 groups of 5. 5 groups. And how many will be in each group? 9. So I hope you were able to get all those answers correct. Okay, so we're going to move on. Ooh, here we go. So here is my group of 10. And I first have to figure out if I get one of those 10 pieces, I say I got 10 divided by 5 equals 2. So if I get one of them, I get 2. So what would happen if I said, I want to have 3/5 of those 10. I want to have 3/5 of those 10. Well, first I need to find out how many are in each group. So I'm going to go my 10 divided by 5, which tells me that each group is going to have 2 in there. So I know that each group has 2. And now I get 3 of those groups. So I'm going to times that by 3. Because if I only got one group, I would be getting 2. If I got 2, so I'm actually getting 3 groups. So I'm going to multiply by 3. 2 times 3 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if I wanted to have 3/5 of those 10 apples, I would be getting 6. So now if I said, well, I want to have 4/5 of those 10 apples, I know that 10 divided by 5 is 2. So I know each section has 2, and I want 4 of them, so I'm going to multiply by 4, which means I'll have 8. And I'm going to count to see if you're right. So I get to have, oops, sorry about that, 4 of those groups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's exactly right. So I hope you can see how that is working. Okay. Now, they would like us to use division and then multiplication to find out the fractions, which is exactly what we just did on this page. We found out by dividing, and then we multiplied. We found out by dividing, 10 divided by 5 equals 2. So there's 2 in each group, so we took the 2 and multiplied by the 4 groups to get 8. So now we're not going to have a picture. They would like us to show the multiplication and division that we're doing in order to get to that number. So 15 is how many I have. So that's my first number, and I'm going to divide it into this many groups. So that means each group is going to have 5 in it. So 1/3 of 15 equals 5. But now they tell me I'm not going to get one group, I'm going to get 2 of those groups. So I know that each group has 5. So I'm going to take my 5 and I'm going to multiply by how many groups do I get, which is 2. And 5 times 2 is 10. So if I had 2/3 of 15, I would get 10. Here we have 1/5 of 20 and then 4/5 of 20. So my dividing, I need to start with 20 because I have 20 things. I have to put them into 5 groups. So 20 divided by 5 is 4. So if I'm going to have 1/5 of them, I'm going to have 4. But now it says I get to have 4 of those groups. So each group has 4, and I get 4 of them. So 4 times 4 is 16. So if I have 4/5 of 20, I'm getting 16. Here I have, 35. That's a big number. So 35. And I have to make 7 groups. Oh, I know this is in my 5 times tables because it ends with a 5. So 7 times 5 is 35. So if I got one of those, I would be getting 5 of the 35. But it says now I get to have 3 of those groups of 5. So I know each group has 5, and I'm going to multiply by 3 because I get 3 of them. So 5 times 3 is 15. So if I was getting 3/7 of the 35, I would be getting 15. Oh, so here I'm going to ask you to pause and see if you can figure out the last 3 on your own, and then come back and see if you got the right answers. So pause. Okay, we're back. So I have 18. I have to divide them into 6 groups, and 18 divided by 6 is 3. So 1 times 3, if I have one group, that's 3. Here I'm going to get 5 of the groups. So I know each group has 3, and if I have 5 of those groups, that means 3 times 5 is 15. So I have 15 if I get 5/6 of 18. So here I have 56, and I have to put it into 8 groups. Hey, this is Mrs. Van Andel's favorite math fact. 5, 6, 7, 8. So if you had one of these, 1/8 of these 56, you would get 7. But you are going to get 5 of those groups. So we have 7 in each group times 5 equals 35. So if you have 5/8 of these 56 apples, you get 35 of them. So now you have 24. You need to divide it into 4 groups. 24 divided by 4 is 6. So if I have 24 gumballs and I'm going to put them into 4 groups, each group is going to have 6 gumballs. So if I get one of those groups, I get 6 gumballs. But now they're saying I get to have 3/4 of those gumballs. So I know that each group has 6, and I get 3 of them. So I am going to get 18 of those gumballs. Yay for me! I hope that you were able to do that correctly. Number 10. Oh, page 10. So I now need to find the fraction of the whole number. Okay, so now we're going to have to do this step in our head and just figure out this one on our own. So I know I have to figure out what 3/8 of 24 is. So 24 divided by 8 is 3. 24 divided by 8 is 3. So if I got one group, I would have 3. But I need to get 3 of those groups. So I would do 3 times 3 equals 9. So if I got 3/8 of those 24 gumballs, I would be getting 9 gumballs. Here they want me to say I have 30 gumballs, and I get 5/6 of those gumballs. So you can do it on a piece of paper if you have to, or you can do it in your head. Some of you are able to do this in your head, but if you need to put it on a piece of paper, go ahead. So 30 divided by 6, oh, it ends in a 0, so that must be in the 5 times tables. So if I got one group, I would have 5. But I'm going to have 5 groups. So 5 times 5 equals 25. So if I got 5/6 of those 30 gumballs, I'm getting 25 gumballs. I'm liking that. So here I have 36 gumballs, and they're going to divide them into 4 groups, and each group is going to have 9 gumballs in it. So each group has 9 gumballs, and I get 3 of those groups, so that means I'm getting 27 gumballs. This is looking really good, grade 4. Here I have 40 gumballs. I need to divide them into 8 groups because I've got putting them into 8. Again, with the 0 at the end, it means it's in the 5 times table. So if I was to divide those into 8 bags, each bag would hold 5 gumballs. And if I got 5 of those bags, I would have 25 gumballs. So I hope that you are understanding all that's going on. And we have one last question. Lewis had 10 oranges. He gives away 3/5 of his oranges. How many oranges did he give away? So I'm going to say 3/5, because that's my fraction, of how many oranges? 10. So how many did he give away? So 10 divided by 5 equals 2. So each group is going to have 2 in it. So I have 2 in each group times 3. So he gives away 6 of his gumballs, or his oranges, sorry, they're not gumballs anymore. So he had 10 oranges altogether. He gave away 6. How many does he have left? 10 take away 6 equals 4. He has kept 4 of his oranges. Okay, we're going to do pause one more time. I'm going to end this video, and then I'm going to go over your assignment for today. So come back for one last video.